What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome back to the Okanagan Wrestling Review. As always, I'm your host, Rough Waters. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We've got a really special announcement for you. As well, we're going to cover all of the independent pro wrestling events scheduled for British Columbia in February 2020. So let's get right to it. The Okanagan Wrestling Review is proud to announce that we have joined forces with the Win Column Sports Network out of Edmonton, Alberta. I'm joining their team as their first BC contributor, and I will be focusing specifically on independent pro wrestling in British Columbia. So we'll be covering as many promotions as I possibly can. So let's get to it. This Saturday, February 8th, Big West Wrestling presents Edge of Glory. This goes down in Summerland, BC. Lots of great matches going down that night. A few to specifically mention, we've got the Okanagan Wrecking Crew, Mad Dog Marty Sugar, and Chucky Lee Ray putting their Thrash Wrestling Tag Team titles on the line against the Homicidal Maniac Slave and the Vixen Jade. It's going to be a huge match. Going down that night as well, we've got a women's grudge match between Scarlet Black and Riley. So these two ladies heading back to the Okanagan to step back into the squared circle once again. Also that night, we've got our main event ladder match where Ace Redmond Jr., the current Big West Wrestling television champion, puts his title on the line versus the Bomber Braden Goss. Going to be a huge one. Something to note there, going into this match, Ace Redmond Jr. will have held the Big West Television Championship for a whopping 239 days, which will make him the longest single run in Big West history, holding that title. So congratulations, Ace. Well done. Also, Saturday, February 8th, ECCW presents Grand Theft Gimmick. This is going down in New Westminster, BC. Singles action includes Beef Boy taking on Billy Suede. We've got another women's match, which is Lisa Hall taking on Cat Power. And then, of course, the main event for the ECCW Championship, Judas Icarus, the current champion, is taking on Artemis Spencer. Another massive match. Another massive night. Moving along, Saturday, February 15th in Abbotsford, BC, Pacific Pro Wrestling presents The Show Must Go On. Huge matches there. You can catch singles action. For the first time, Bishop is taking on All Attitude Ace Redmond Jr. Double Impact is taking on Reloaded in tag team action. And my boy Todd Quality takes on Mustache Adam Ryder. Lots of other big matches that night. Friday, February 21st, Thrash Wrestling's Running Roughshod goes down in West Kelowna. You can go see the legendary Black Dragon take on the undeniable Taylor King. Number one contender match, the Homicidal Maniac Slave takes on the Cougar Meat Kid, Colin Cutler. Main event that night, current Thrash Wrestling champion, Hotshot Danny Duggan takes on the Northern Nightmare Camaro Cope. The Thrash Wrestling Championship will be on the line that night. That's going to be a killer match. Lots of great matches still on that card, so stay tuned. Then, the following evening, Saturday, February 22nd, Thrash Wrestling's back in Penticton, BC for Fight Night. Check out the Homicidal Maniac Slave taking on Cobra Kai. The Vixen Jade takes on Calamity Kate. And due to a rematch clause, the undeniable Taylor King will be taking on the Thrash Wrestling champion, Danny Duggan. That is if he gets past Camaro Cope the evening prior. Saturday, February 29th, All-Star Wrestling's Old School takes place in Vancouver. The All-Star Wrestling Tag Team titles are on the line as the current champions Maddox Static and Bassi take on Team USA and the Voros Twins. Also that night, a grudge match between Mr. Beefy Goodness Vance Nevada and the Thunder from Jalandhar. Lots of other great matches that night, so if you are in the Lower Mainland, ASW is going to be your pro wrestling ticket. Also on Saturday, February 29th, Thrash Wrestling returns to Merritt, BC for Frost Fight. This was originally supposed to be in January, but Mother Nature had other plans. So Thrash Wrestling will be heading back. All your favorite Thrash Wrestling stars, including one of my personal favorites, Salty the Seaman. Don't miss that. Well, that wraps up all of the independent pro wrestling events going on in February in British Columbia, as far as I could tell. So I will be covering the Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling as well. There was nothing from what I could find for February for them. Also be covering the Fight Cobra Kai and Rickshaw Wrestling events. Just missed Glam Slam 17, which went down February 1st. Also, Canadian Wrestling Elite, CWE, will be coming through BC in May. Along with them will be former WCW, ECW star, the franchise, Shane Douglas. So there's lots of BC dates for that as well. So we'll be covering that. So I'll try and keep you up to date as best as I can. And expect some interesting stuff coming up. I'll try and find you guys some interesting interviews and just general coverage as much as I possibly can. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the Okanagan Wrestling Review. We'll see you again.